CNN anchor Jake Tapper said Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s falsehoods are more dangerous than Donald Trump's, New York Magazine reports. Tapper, during an appearance on the New York Magazine's On with Kara Swisher podcast, expressed serious concerns about the former president, saying Trump is not a normal candidate, in response to a question from Swisher over how to handle covering Trump's candidacy. And what about Trump's lies? How do you change? Again, this is the third election, presumably. From 2016, many thought the media laid down on the job. 2020, maybe the media didn't necessarily. How do you do it? How do you cover him as a normal candidate? Swisher asked. Well, he's not a normal candidate, Tapper said. He's not. He's a former U.S. president who arguably incited a violent insurrection. His lies about the election certainly were the reason for what happened on Capitol Hill that day. He is somebody whose words have caused violence and caused threats of violence. Tapper added that he believes CNN should cover Trump as he is. We cover him as he is. He's the leading Republican nominee and he says things that are not true, but we have to cover him. We can't ignore him. We can't pretend he's not there. We can't pretend he's not leading in the polls for his party's nomination. We have to explain why. Asked if he believes it was appropriate for CNN to hold its Trump town hall earlier this year in New Hampshire, Tapper suggested it would have perhaps been more appropriate to hold the town hall as did News Nation when it broadcast its Robert Kennedy Jr. on tape delay to prevent the spread of misinformation. Well, just to touch on the Robert Kennedy Jr. thing, one thing I'll say is, his entire being and prominence, his entire public position, is based on lies about childhood vaccines that have saved the lives of tens, if not hundreds, of millions, if not billions, of children throughout the years, Tapper said. And one can see a direct cause and effect of what he says about MMR vaccines and the like breaking out every now and then. Just anybody listening, go Google Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Samoa, and measles, and you can read something about, that's what I'm talking about. What would I have done differently? I think there's an argument to be made what Fox did when they did their town hall like a week or two later, it was not live. I think there's an argument to be made about that because then it can be produced a little better and. Tapper acknowledged he believes Trump to be a prolific liar, which puts Robert Kennedy Jr. in elite territory. I have never seen anyone in public life, with the possible exception of Robert Kennedy Jr., who lies with such skill and abandon, Tapper said. That is true. I think Robert Kennedy Jr.'s actually worse, but that's just my personal point of view.